敵役か。僕の書いた悲劇を楽しむといい。
私、みんなの足手まといにならないよう頑張ります。
Hello people and welcome back to News Review. Hopefully everyone got everything from the Miku collab that just ended as we move on to another update once again. There are a few new cards in this update and I'll be giving info on how you can get them and whether you should get them. If you're a new or returning player, I do recommend you check out my new player guide. It'll help you better understand what I'm saying in the video. I won't bore you by presenting every single thing in the full news, so open up the patch notes link in the description if you want to follow along, and let's get right into it. If you just arrived at the game, there are probably some other events and stages still going. Be sure to check out my other videos from previous weeks if you missed out on that. Additionally, I'm trying out a new thing where I buy a guild stage for every 10 subscribers I hit, and the next milestone will be at 360 subscribers, so subscribe and also join the guild if you want to participate in that. So let's get right into the new content, starting off with a couple of new seal cards. As you can see here, Rene and Shakespeare. Starting off with the main jackpot first, we have gender bent Shakespeare, a light god. As a leader, she can have light members and gods in her team, with light gods receiving particular benefit, as you'll see in the team skill later. She also relies heavily on heart moonstones and sky drop. For details written here, basically, by dissolving all runestones in one or more rows in the first patch, you generate 8 enchanted hearts. And by dissolving all runestones in one or more columns in the first patch, you also generate 8 enchanted heart again, so you'll just be like sky dropping a lot of heart. If you use her on both sides, which I don't particularly recommend with these leaders because their team skill works when you have them as leader, and you can have whoever as an ally and it'll still work. For team skill, light gods CD -6 upon entry. That's the benefit I was talking about. You get plus 6 seconds, which is kind of long for a single side team skill. But I suppose it balances it out because sometimes leaders have a runestone extension on their leader skill. You ignore burning, you ignore laser tramp, and heart runestones have 50% effect of light runestones. By dissolving light or heart runestones, team attack times 4.5, and when 10 or more combos are made, damage will be dealt regardless of fixed combo shield. How do you get 10 combos, you ask? That's coming soon in the active skill. At the end of each round, explore the bottom row to generate enchanted heart runestones. Now, I think this team skill is fine. I think it'll be a bit disruptive though, since the leader will probably create more heart runestones than you want on the board, with the exploding and the sky dropping as aforementioned in the leader skill. For active, it's CD6. I put the full thing here since it's kind of unique and everything kind of works together and there's no way to really summarize it. Team attack times 1.6 upon skill activation. At the end of each round, turn the 6th column into Enchanted Light God. The more runestones dissolved, this is not only exclusively in the first patch, it counts Skydrop as well. The more the combo count increases to the max plus 10 for 20 runestones dissolved. This first part is a stat boost, meaning that it's just there unless you deactivate it. And if you do deactivate it, restore the board, explode the column below each god to generate enchanted god runestones of the corresponding member's attribute, and for one round, ignore puzzle shield. This card has the highest amount of combo boosting on a long-lasting status. No other card boosts like up to 10. Restoring the board and ignoring puzzle shield are not unique functionalities in any way, but still good to have as a skill, like a pure active skill. This is a very solid active skill, makes her a very good member. As I said before, probably not a good leader in my opinion, just because of the heart moonstone flood, which makes it difficult to deal with a variety of shields. Moving right along, we have Rene, a fire beast. She's not very good as a leader, so I'll just skip past that. She does have a unique team skill. If she is in a team with only humans or beasts, you can dissolve runestones below her column in the first batch to heal, with each runestone healing for 20% of your HP, obviously up to 100 because you have 5 runestones below that, below each character. For active skill, it is CD6. The character and its neighboring members enter a hyperstate for 3 rounds, and for 3 rounds upon skill activation and at the end of each round, fully recover HP, modifying the columns below the character and the neighbors to become runestones of the corresponding members' races. and members in a hyper state launch 2 extra attack, 1 each of fire and light, and at the end of each round skill CDs -1. Nothing really special here. I mean, hyper state is fine, not that special. The CD reduction might allow for some interesting team compositions where your CD reduces by like an insane amount, but nothing really unique here. Next up, there's a new system in the game. Bet you didn't see that one coming. There's a lot of text written here to explain what this is, and after reading it, I can confidently say that I still don't really understand what is going on. I think that the problem is that there's a lot of jargon in here, but I'll try and explain it as best I can from my understanding. First off, you have these Chronon cards that can be equipped onto your team, kind of like Draconics. You can get these cards from various places and level them up with new materials. This new starting deck they're giving, or they're introducing rather, have 10 unique cards in it. The way that they interact with your board is that one runestone will become a Chronon runestone, signified by an icon, this blue icon. At the same time, there is also a flow point meter known as FP. You can kind of think of this as similar to EP. Yes, this is already getting kind of complicated. Any given card will have 3 types of effects: an instant effect, a round effect, and a triggered skill. Why they can't keep the naming consistent and name the last one a triggered effect, I don't know, but please bear with me. The way you can use this runestone is you can drag it into your character from the board, which will activate the instant effect. The runestone will also become attached to that character, and your character will now have that blue symbol. If you keep the runestone on your character and don't do anything special, you'll activate the round skill, provided you have enough FP to sustain it. And finally, if you dissolve the character runestone with the Chronon runestone on it, you activate the trigger skill, and this is typically the most powerful effect. After doing this, the runestone will go back on the board and your FP will be depleted to 0. If you somehow understood all that, fantastic. If you didn't, don't worry, I'm sure it'll be way easier to understand if you actually have the game in front of you. I don't even fully understand. The main thing here is that one of these cards, trigger skills, actually allows the character to ignore cross-shaped shields, which is like not a thing just in the rest of the game. So I'm very excited for that. Anyway, moving on to stuff that isn't an essay, we have a new challenge card, NKH. That's right, they made the winner of the TOS championship into a card. And I actually ended up meeting NKH at the fans gathering event a while ago, and I actually got a signature. I'll put that video covering that on the top right corner if you're interested. Anyway, back to the card. This card is a light human, CD7. The active is once again really long, so I just put the full thing here. You can't summarize this, not really. He gets a fixed board consisting of water, fire, and light. Fixed board cards are always good. For one of the character deck ×3, and by starting movement with a water, fire, or light runestone, you get different effects. For water, you get Enchanted Trail and ignore fixed combo shield. For fire, you ignore burning, and the character launches extra water and fire attacks. And for light, you get Human Trail and you ignore electrified runestones and clear them while moving and turn them into Enchanted Light. By dissolving all runestones in the first patch, team attack ×2, and at the end round, the character's skill CD -3. Fixed board cards always good, as I said, and it seems that you can also get all 3 effects if this gets paired with a time tunnel card, so that's quite good as well. Moving on, they are introducing a new Dragonware, and also all the limits of all the cards in the Evoking Coin Shop are increased by 1, or they're going to be increased by 1 rather. So you can buy 2 of them. They seem to be doing the thing where each character can be forged into their own Dragonware. Unfortunately, this one kind of sucks. It's only for Fire Elves. Nothing really special here. The character's active skill CD -1. I believe this, if this is permanent, then it's okay. But only Fire Elves is kind of limiting. And the rest of the Dragonware skills and craft skills aren't really anything that special either. But they are planning to make Dragonwares for all the Evoking Coin Shop cards from the looks of it, so hopefully the future ones will be better. Next up is a new Battle Pass card, a Water Dragon, Rene, CD6, deal 15 water damages to all enemies, and if leader is a water member or dragon, deal 30 water damage instead. water members, and dragons attack times 1.8, and at the end of the round, explode fire runestones to generate enchanted water dragon runestones, and explode earth to generate enchanted heart dragon runestones. Finally, this is actually really, really good. There is finally a good multi-hit card for dragons after all this time. I was using like Huasi or something for like solving the multi-hit shields. Finally, you just have one card that can just deal 30 extra attacks. So this is great. It's like slots into a lacking functionality in dragons that has been lacking for I don't know how long at this point. And lastly, we have a bi-weekly card who is also a water dragon, Karū, CD5. Tap 2 runestones, turn those runestones and the adjacent runestones into enchanted water dragon runestones. Basically 2 water crosses. You convert 2 water crosses and dragon attack times 2. And if there are only dragons in the team, the character's skill CD -4 at the end of the round. Very nice, basically instant activation in case you somehow need the 2 water crosses again. I wouldn't think of why you would need it, but if this is paired with like tumbler skill or something in the future, then you know this card will come in handy for sure. For my ranking of the seal cards, I think that Shakespeare is not really that good as a leader because of the Heart Flood, but does have a good amount of uniqueness as a member, so I put her in between mid and high tier. On the other hand, Rene is kind of lackluster as a sub Jackpot, as neither the leader skill or the active skill are really anything that special. So I put her in between mid and a low tier. For my ranking of the free cards, NK goes in mid tier since fixed board cards are always decent. Teneris gets top tier because dragons have been lacking the crucial multi-hit functionality for such a long time. And Karū is fine, a little better than bottom tier, since there is an increase in frequency of cross-shaped shields nowadays. Last but not least, there are 2 returning ultimate stage cards. The first being Beauty of Violence Nettie, a light human card who ignores Puzzle Shield. Grab 1 because those are a dime a dozen nowadays. And Breeze of Chaparral Adela, this Earth Dragon who I initially slept on but actually is really good. Farm her if you can. This comes in surprising handy in dragon teams, and with the rise of Azathoth, I wouldn't be surprised if this card pops up as, you know, a very useful card, you know, in the near future. That's it for this week's news review. Leave a like if you liked it, comment below if you had anything to say to me, and subscribe if you like it in general. It really helps the channel out, and I'll see you in the next video. See ya!